All right, Jackson, let's jump into it. Starting off with some of our questions, what courses in college did you like most, and what courses did you like least?
So during my college career, the courses that I particularly enjoyed were the ones that related to my major as a professional pilot, um, particularly the private pilot uh, flying course was really interesting to me as I loved it, as well as the instrument course. The courses that I particularly didn't like were mainly the generals, as they didn't apply to me and I don't use them in my day to day life.
Hmm. Yeah. Do you feel like during your collegiate experience, did you feel like you did the best scholastic work you were capable of?
I think I did. I put forth a lot of effort during my college career. I made sure to maintain a high GPA. As much as I could, I would get assignments in on time and do them to the best of my ability, no matter the course.
Mhm. And going into your major and your desired purpose in this job, what made you choose this particular field of work?
I have always loved aviation ever since I was a little kid. My mom says that when I was 2 years old, I would get excited to go on the airplane. My grandfather, he designed aircraft for Lockheed Martin. And so I've just always been around aircraft and always been really interested in them ever since I was a little kid. And so I finally decided to make my dreams become a reality.
Hmm. And just based off your history with aviation, why do you think that you would like this kind of job?
So this kind of job is interesting to me, particularly because of its location. Who doesn't want to live in Hawaii? I also think that doing these nice little puddle jumper flights would be interesting because I'd get to see some great scenery, but I think I'd also get some really great experience. I've never had experience in a two-person cockpit before working with um, a captain before, so I think it'd be great to get experience with a captain, but also experience with a new flying environment that I haven't experienced before. I think that that would be really interesting to me, and also a little bit of a challenge for me that I would be able to overcome.
Hmm. Now, getting a little bit more personal, what would you say is your biggest weakness?
Personally, I think that my biggest weakness can be my ability to talk. I can talk a lot. And sometimes when I talk, I can get myself distracted off of work things, or even sometimes others distracted off of things pertaining to work or our assigned tasks. However, I've been working on that and been working on ensuring that when I'm at work, I'm more focused on the things pertaining to work and keeping those personal conversations to a minimum.
Hmm. And what would you say is something that drives you? What motivates you?
I think one of my primary motivators is my desire or appetite for success. I really want to achieve success in my career as a pilot, and so I always give forth my best effort to achieve that success. I want to be the best I can be, and so that's my main motivator.
Mhm. Talking a little bit more, what would you do, just scenario based, if you were given an unrealistic deadline for a certain task or project?
If I was given a unrealistic deadline, I would have to communicate that with my superiors, right? So I can't expect my superior to know that it's unrealistic if I don't communicate that with them. So I would have to go to them and explain in a professional and respectful manner that the assignment that they've given me is not possible. However, if given more time or more resources, we could be able to complete that project.
Mhm. And a lot of these, tasks or projects that you could get and just this job itself could give you, some stress or pressure. So how would you say that you personally would handle stress or pressure on the job?
Right. So aviation is obviously a high stress environment, high stress work that we do in this field. And so I think something that's really important is to follow the I'm safe checklist anytime that we have a flight. And so personally, when I'm dealing with stress, I either try to compartmentalize it. If I have stress at home, leave that stress at home. If I have stress at work, leave that stress at work. But also, when it comes to flying, I can ensure that I'm as prepared as possible for the tasks that I have, to ensure that I'm mitigating the amount of stress that I have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as you can imagine, we probably get a lot of applicants for this job, and at Surf Air Mobility, we encourage for applicants with we get a lot of applicants with qualified, that are very qualified, from different backgrounds, different groups. So moving in more into that, why should we hire you?
So obviously I'm qualified for the job, but I think that in this environment as a caravan pilot, that we're going to have a open dialogue with passengers in the back. And so, as I said, my greatest weakness can be my mouth. However, it can also be a little bit of a strength as well, where I'm able to interact with the people that I'm working with, right? My captain, we can have a very clear line of communication, but I can also have a clear line of communication that will help our customers feel very welcomed and valued in the product that we are offering to them. And I think that that's something that would be hard to find in other applicants.
Mm-hmm. Now just one more question, just to get a little bit more of your background, your pilot background. Describe an experience in which you learned from a mistake that you made.
Yeah, so one time during my private pilot training, I came to a flight lesson ill prepared. I didn't create nav logs, and I didn't chair fly the day before or anything like that. I just kind of figured I'd get up there and do it when I got up there. And my CFI was, of course, very disappointed in me, but he's like, let's go up here and let's see, how you perform being ill prepared. And so obviously I didn't perform the way that I should have. I didn't know the radio frequencies I was supposed to put in. I didn't have the ground track on the ground of where I was supposed to be flying, and just things like that. And so that was a really good experience of how, when you show up ill prepared for a flight, your performance during the flight is going to deteriorate, and that actually can jeopardize the flight and make it less safe. And so ever since then, I've never showed up to a flight ill prepared again. And so that's been a really good learning experience for me.
Mm-hmm. All right, awesome. Jackson, that's all the questions I have for you right now. Just wanted to say thank you for meeting with me for this interview, and we will reach out to you for further information.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.